right, good morning, y'all. I've already color corrected under my eyes, but welcome to the vlog. I don't know where this clip is gonna land in the video, but I'm gonna try my shot at doing a full week instead of a day, but we'll see. Anywho, y'all, God is so good. I'm currently getting ready to go to work. It's like 6 something in the morning right now. I feel so productive because you may or may not hear some laundry in the dryer. So I did a load yesterday in the wash, and then I rotated and did a load in the dryer, well, the same load in the dryer this morning. So it makes me feel good because I'm staying on top of it, and that was actually the only load that I have to do. So I'm just staying on top of that laundry because that's been a really big pain point for me, and just like letting it get out of hand. Or just doing just enough to keep up with it and then looking crazy and going outside when it has become too much. So I hope y'all having a good day. Today is Wednesday. It was a short week this week due to MLK and the inauguration and my birthday. So with that, I feel, again, just extremely blessed, but I do want to talk through, like, personally on camera, so I'm going to use it kind of as like a video diary, and also, you know, it'll be good for me to see it once it comes full circle and executed too. So this year for my birthday, I feel like I want to do something just slightly different. My birthday is already passed, but it was during a holiday, so I'm technically gonna like celebrate like post-birthday, which works for me. But yeah, so I really want to do something slightly different that involves community. So most of y'all know I am a new mom. Well, I guess now I don't think I'm a new mom anymore. My daughter is 1 and 2 months. Yeah, so a year and 2 months old. She is the love of our life. Absolutely adore her. That was Morphe's foundation in Deep 33. Love this. Like, I have so many refills of that same foundation because it's like the perfect match for me, the perfect consistency, the perfect coverage. But yeah, so she's 1 year and 2 months old, literally the love of our life. And I feel like a lot of people don't get vulnerable about like motherhood and the impact of the transition, but I know for me, I absolutely adore my daughter, but as a mom, like there are things that come natural and there are other things that you have to truly like adjust with, you know? So I think the biggest thing with me was adjusting and intertwining two schedules. Like it wasn't, you know, bonding or affection and things like that. It was really the clashing of the schedules for me and my child. Because moms typically, you know, take on more of the adjusting in terms of like schedules and stuff like that. But nonetheless, I think that was the most challenging part for me. So I put a lot of things socially to the side when it came down to like me and my personal life. So like I had a few clubs and groups I was involved in, some local organizations. And while I feel like I'm still in good standing in those, like it's not really the biggest concern or question. I just think for me, it's not that I'm craving community, but I almost want to create a space that doesn't necessarily exist right now. So for me, that looks like, I'm looking like here, but also in the mirror. So for me, that looks like creating a space that doesn't exist. So while there are, you know, opportunities to bond with like other moms or other business owners or other people who do Bible study and stuff like that, I feel like it's absolutely wonderful. And just like the analogy of like, you can't have too many of the same things, you know, you can't have too many bread products because every time you go in the store, there's another like loaf of bread or whatever. So that's exactly how I feel about the group. So I'm just trying to tailor it a little bit more and kind of take this community my daughter's asleep in her room, so I'm trying to listen up to see when she gets up. But I'm trying to tailor this community and really kind of bring it to life in person too. So y'all know this channel is mostly about like being a working mom and wife, but I also have some friends who are not wives, some friends who are not moms. So I want to create a space, hopefully quarterly, for us to gather and brunch and do service work, and then also do personal work. So for me, that looks like, okay, we may go and volunteer, or we may collect donations, or we may do service for other people. So like I've learned how to do like, you know, basic makeup, basic hair. My hair look crazy right now though, because it's oily and I need to wash it, but you know, those basic services. And every time I'm like out and about in the store, I always get comments from like moms who have like either biracial children, or moms who have like older children, and they don't necessarily obviously have to be biracial, but I just live in an area where the population of people who are biracial is fairly common for the most part. But commonly people ask, like, you know, who does your hair? There's not a lot of hairdressers who do ethnic, you know, hair, and things like that. So maybe that service could look like, you know, providing classes to the general public, because I have friends that have all specialties. Like I have friends who have specialties in their career, who specialize in cosmetics, skincare, you know, obviously hairstyle and stuff like that. So it could look like, instead of, okay, we're physically volunteering, maybe we're, you know, teaching a class for young ladies so they can learn how to groom and stuff like that. But whatever it is, I don't want to exclude a particular gender, but I feel like my ministry specifically is just women-centered. I'm not a man, obviously, never been a man, so I just don't know how that that journey looks. So I just connect a bit more to women. So maybe I may center the group, instead of it being like mom and wife life, like this channel, and center it more towards womanhood in general. So that's in the works, and I'm super excited about it. And I really don't want a lot of time in between like conception and the birth of the project. And that's only because I feel like sometimes we overthink it, and it really doesn't have to be that deep. And I know, at least for me, I'm the type of person where you refine and you get better over time. Just like this channel, it did not start out perfect. It's still not perfect. So at least for me, my idea is, okay, the quicker you get started is the quicker you'll improve, the quicker you'll be able to make adjustments, the quicker you'll be able to do whatever needs to be done, you know? So at least for me, the quicker I get started, I feel like I can make necessarily adjustments. I also am a little conflicted too, because I don't really want to charge for people to volunteer, but it's more so charging in terms of like the follow-up, like brunch. So maybe I might split it up into 2 tickets of like, okay, first we do the service and then we brunch, and then talk about development for ourselves. Or, okay, first we brunch and then we do the service. So I don't know, still looking at how that looks. But at the end of the day, you know, when God has called you to do something, you just kind of have to do. And at least for me, like, it's not necessarily the money, but the scope and the reach that I want this project. Unfortunately, I'm not in a place to 100% finance it. So that's just the raw reality of that. Hopefully one day I will be able to, and that'll be, you know, more so my ministry. But yeah, those are the biggest thoughts that have been running in my head. It's Wednesday too, so I feel real good on my weekly outlook. I always look at the week as like a big, it's like a big like puzzle piece, right? So like if I get this piece right, then obviously the other piece is gonna be right. So not only am I like really crushing like personal goals, I think I'm kind of on mark in terms of like work expectations too, which has been pretty good for me. Ooh, that's a little harsh. Work expectations have been, you know, going pretty well for me at least. And then just overall personal development too. Like sometimes we get caught up on like how we appear to other people, but another thing that has just really been sticking out to me is just like how I show up for myself every day. So that may look like, okay, you have to sacrifice time at a particular point. Child, I put on too much blush. Hopefully I can blend it out though. That may look a little bit different at different stages, but y'all get the gist. Now this is starting to become a ramble. I'm just gonna highlight, set my face, do my hair, check on my baby to see if she woke up, and then we're gonna get on with the day. But truthfully, y'all, life is good. Like, I ain't got nothing to complain about besides, y'all know my theme for this year is having my daily bread, and God is really making me sit in that because there is no, like, there is a surplus and abundance, yes, but he really making me stand on my daily bread. And obviously that's making me depend more on him and his word and his guidance for my life, which spawned this idea too of just being able to kind of do it more for other people too, and provide resources, whether that's knowledge, community, something so everybody else can get fed. So that's it. I think it's currently, my other phone is downstairs. Makeup's fairly done. Yeah, I have to be so real. I have like just an everyday makeup routine, and it really just works for me. And this is it. So if I had a ring light, it would be giving me a little bit more, but in the mirror, it's something on my face. But nonetheless, that's really all I have to chit chat about this morning. I may be back. I may not be back. This may be a video by itself. Who knows? But I'll see y'all later. All right, y'all. I said I would be back, and I'm back. Hopefully y'all watch this far, and if you don't, you just don't. So I'm folding clothes now. And y'all, I have just had the hugest light bulb pop off in my head, because I believe earlier I was chatting a little bit about like aspirations of like bringing my community a bit more in person in this season, because y'all, like, last year was a very pivotal moment in my life where I feel like I learned a lot. But I also think the piece about being able to accept that I was in that space as somebody who is always busy, always doing stuff, I finally had a season of rest or ease, and it felt so uncomfortable and it felt so abnormal. So that got my wheels turning a little bit, and like, why? Like, why did I feel so uncomfortable? Why did I feel so out of place, not being productive or not being, you know, my best self? And that's mostly because of self-inflicted pressure that I've obviously put on myself. But not only just pressure that I put on myself, I believe that it was enough time for me to recollect, get myself together for a bigger purpose that I have to fulfill. So I would not be able to step into the current season that I'm going into without going through that season of resetting, relearning, and just redefining who I am and what I am and what that looks like holistically. So I feel like I have such a big fire, and I have to put some things in motion very quickly. And the reason why I have to do them quickly is because, again, nothing will ever be perfect. You know what I'm saying? So my thought process is, you know, do it the best that you can, but do it authentically, and naturally your people will find you, just like this channel. And speaking of that, if you've watched this video thus far and you have not subscribed to the channel, make sure you do subscribe and join the family of women that are here. And there are men who watch too, but the overwhelming majority of us are women. So, but yeah, I feel like it really was a big revelation to me of like, okay, why did you feel so uncomfortable with that? Or like, why did you feel displeased with not being productive? And I just couldn't let it go. I just couldn't let go of the thought of like, okay, not necessarily that you don't have to be perfect, But like, why do you have to be productive? And it's because you have a greater mission. You and me both. It's because your purpose is larger than you. It's because you have obviously things that you need to accomplish that impacts the destiny of other people. So with that, there will come a time in your journey, and I feel like that was my last year with kind of adjusting to, being a parent and adjusting to starting a new job and exiting a season that no longer served me. I needed to completely redefine what that looks like. Now, that's what it looked like for me, and that's not what it, may look like for other people, but at least for me, that's what it looked like. So I'm just super excited and on fire to get this thing going. So if you have ever, and I mean ever in the slightest bit, I've thrown events, I've put on, functions before, but I guess, where do you guys typically start with finding that tribe online? So usually I cultivate community from the people I already know, but I also want to expand out to people I don't know and maybe reach some of other people who need some encouragement in this season outside of my normal circle of friends. So if you have any expertise or advice there on where to start or where to like post events, let me know. And we'll go from there. So I'm just doing laundry, y'all. Today was an extremely productive day. I do have some things that I have to complete later on tonight that are like business related, but ultimately I put my clothes in the washer last night, the dryer this morning. I'm folding them tonight. I don't have a second load to go, so that's a win. Dinner is currently cooking in the oven. So yeah, I need to go check on it in just a few minutes, but so far, like, so good. It's smelling good. I checked on it like a few minutes ago, so we should be good for another like 2 or 3 minutes. But overall, ladies, I hope you're doing well. And a message that came across to me recently was like, kind of like how you notice how people are clapping for like other people. How you notice people only clap when it's for themselves. And I feel like I've always been the type of person who like wholeheartedly just clapped for other people. Like, it literally ignites something in me to see other people achieve their goals, other people do good things. And it just shows that it's obviously possible, even in this time of uncertainty, even in this time of things that are just not quite, as clear as we want them to be. For me, whenever I see people actually fight through and accomplish stuff, to me, it just gives me that much of an ignition to go for that thing, And not only for myself, but for other people. Because without the encouragement, even if you're not getting it directly from another person, like person-to-person encouragement, you're getting it offline. You're getting it through, social media. You're getting it through feeding yourself on the word of God. Whatever that looks like encouragement is obviously needed. And I think I said this earlier, and if I did not say it earlier, I just don't want to start something that I feel like I can't give my full self to. And I feel like I can't. If you hear my daughter, she is playing downstairs with her grandmother, so she is fine. But with that, I just feel like encouragement is a really big thing for 2025, and just kind of getting recentered. Like, you always need somebody in your corner to kind of help you realize whenever you're off your rocker, or whenever you feel like, I just feel like I can't do it today, or I'm so far off. Like, even if that's not in person, you just need something or somebody. And you also need people to recognize when you need space. So another quick thing, me and one of my really, really good friends, wait, let me see if this is even still recording, child. Okay, it is. Me and one of my really, really good friends, we were chatting yesterday. And I haven't chatted with her in a hot little minute, because life just be life, and we both were going through like a big transition. And we were chatting, and we were talking about how we both cope with like challenging times of life, essentially. So like me, I'm an advocate for personal space. Like, if I'm going through it, I want to go through it by myself. I want to go through it alone as much as possible. I want to isolate. That's just me. Whereas she's the type of person where she absolutely positively wants to be around other people. And I love that for her. But I cannot operate like that. Like, I need silence. I need to hear from God. I just can't do, you know, people around me whenever I'm like going through something or like making big decisions or transitioning, you know. So that was a really good point of the conversation, of just like how other people operate. So I think within this group, I also want to encourage people to say, you know, if you just need prayer, if you just need us to think about you, or if you need actually some physical items or something to get you through whatever you're going through, like, I want to help people navigate those true feelings. And while I'm not obviously a therapist or anything of the sort, you know, I'm still a human. And I feel like people need to know that it's safe to be yourself. It's safe to step away. It's safe if you want to come together, whatever that looks like. You can have, you know, that safe space. So I'm going to finish this laundry. It's been a couple minutes. I'm going to check on the food. And I'm probably going to end this video here and go from there. But again, if you haven't joined the community, please join. If you have any suggestions about the name of the community or anything that you would like to see in particular, let me know. If you want me to document this and share it online, let me know that too. But other than that, I just have a handful more of clothes to fold. I'm literally almost done. But yeah, this is it, and I hope y'all have a blessed night. Talk to y'all soon.